What's happening in the news?
A lot, actually. A lot is happening. I'll start with citynewsroom.com. All NEIP staff, and NEIP is the National Entrepreneurship Innovation Program. Staff suspended over employment, other issues. You remember, the CEO once used to be the late former Deputy Finance Minister, proud to him becoming Finance Minister, Deputy Finance Minister John Kuma. You know, then Kofi Nkansa took over in the second term of the Nana administration. This time round, Eric J, who used to be the Deputy Communications Director during the campaign for the NDC's vice presidential candidate, Professor Jenano Poku, now has been appointed acting CEO of the NEIP. And the big news from yesterday is that all NEIP staff suspended over employment and other issues. We'll bring viewers excerpts of that story. Also here, Abronya accuses NIB of bias following invitation over allegations against Mahama. The NIB is the National Investigations Bureau, what we used to call the BNI. Also here, government renews Wale curfew. Dr. Kwabena Bempatando steps down as Deputy Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Also here, Parliament summons Ablakwa over deportation of Ghanaians from US. I'll bring excerpts of that story as well. We need to find out all the details on that particular one. But I remember doing his vetting, he mentioned that about 300 or so.
Yeah, he said the numbers went.
Yeah, they were less than 500
Ghanaians
mentioned. Who were facing possible deportation. So it's important we bring updates on that story. Also here, one military officer dead, several injured in Boku accident. Car Powership Ghana denies responsibility for recent power outages. Yesterday I slept in Dumso, by the way.
Oh, Kafra. Yeah. Oh, but at least it rained, so.
Yeah, exactly. That was the only comfort. Yeah. But it's all good. Ekufuado didn't hand over a mismanaged economy. Trinidad Afoko speaking, the former NIB boss, the bank, and also now MP for Manso in Kwanta. Ghana TVET Service welcomes new Director General. Also, your Clocksag rejects appeal to call of strike. And Professor Godfred Bobkin has been speaking. He says BOG's excess money printing, weak productivity, driving inflation. He basically was making the point that there was a lack of real leadership in managing fiscal policy in managing monetary policy at the Bank of Ghana over the past couple of years. Travelers stranded as Dambai ferries face continuous operational challenges. And also, this story you mentioned yesterday, Pope remains in critical condition after respiratory crisis. We have to say, let's do the sign of the cross for the Pope, right? In the name of God the Father.
Say 3 Hail Marys.
3 Hail Marys. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen.
Amen.
Oh, Charlie, you shock, eh? Don't shock. Yeah, I'm not even Catholic.
Not even expecting you to say it.
I'm not even Catholic, I'm a Pentecostal.
You have done well. Yeah, we thank you.
Yeah. So, that's a big stories. A Hail Mary for the Pope, by the way, as he faces critical health conditions right now. Other stories on different websites mention how he's already plotting or planning his funeral, even as he is alive. So, these are the big stories on citynewsroom.com.
On ChannelOneNews.com, the one is the digit one. Some of the stories you'll find: 7 Chinese, 8 Ghanaian galamseyers arrested with 10 excavators near River Ankobra. NEIP temporarily suspends staff over employment issues. COVID exposed Ghana's economic weaknesses. Professor Bokpin says so. Clocksag rejects calls to end strike. Professor Bokpin, government got away with 10% wage hike, but Ghanaians are watching. Other stories you'll find: Parliament summons Ablakwa over deportation of Ghanaians from US. 1 military officer killed, several injured in armored vehicle accident in Boko. Clocksag rejects calls to end strike. Kantamanto Markets leadership calls on government for financial support. What kind of financial support again? Central Region, 10-year-old boy found dead. I think I brought you that story yesterday in Gumwanyanyano Salt Pit. Other stories you'll find, ECG not for sale. That's according to Jinapo. Sharif Khalid, government has 10% salary hike, shows fiscal responsibility.
That's on ChannelOneNewsroom.com.
Yes, ChannelOneNewsroom.com. I have graphic. Should I do graphic?
So yeah, go ahead and do graphic.
Okay, so I have graphic.com.gh. Latest headlines there. Regional minister seeks support of the Catholic Church. President Mahama instructs anti-Galamsey task force to seize excavators. Apenyomarkin denies allegations of 50 military convoy escorts. The silent epidemic, extreme heat fuels meningitis in Upper West Region, and Upper West Region is the worst affected. Kumasi Technical University admits 10,667 new students. Man jailed 4 years for stealing RAM. Judiciary must show empathy to accused persons. Majority Whip Dafiamakpo says so. And police refutes claims of neglecting injured inspector.
I know, GhanaNewsAgency.com. Okay, there's an old story, but still here. Celebrated actor Mauli Semevo dies from injuries sustained in fire incident. Mama holds bilateral discussions with Sao Tome counterpart who is in the country on a 2-day visit. Also here, Christian Council pledges support to government's effort to end illegal mining. And still on illegal mining, the Environment Minister Mutala Mohammed pledges interministerial collaboration to boost indigenous business growth. And these are some of the big stories on GNA.com. Maybe some brief headlines from the international or some international news. Voting begins in high-stakes German election, watched closely by Europe and the US, as you know, the far-right party AFD is seeking to make strong inroads in this particular election. So it's of interest to a lot of people. I think Germany is the world's third largest economy, so definitely a lot of people have interest in this particular one. Israel indefinitely delays Palestinian prisoner release as hostages freed. Also here, 1 dead and police hit in knife attack in France. And interesting story here from the US. The Elon Musk, who heads the government's Department of Efficiency, is urging federal workers to list accomplishments or resign. Musk tells U.S. federal workers. It's crazy what's happening in the U.S.
Justify your inclusion.
Yeah,
wow.
If you read a story, it says that if you don't reply via email to tell what you've done in a week, what you've been able to do in terms of your KPIs for the past week via email, then consider it as a resignation. Can you imagine? And this to all federal workers. So really, really incredible things happening in there. If we did it in Ghana, how many people do you think would survive? Like half of our public sector workforce will be clear. I'm not even joking.
Have you seen some of them don't know how to use computers?
And it's okay to say reply via email. So they don't even have the email to begin with. And you go to a government agency early, I don't want to mention the name. I thought it was all jokes and bands till I saw it for myself. Oh no, it's true. The 9 a.m. that's the cocoa time. It's true. And if you go and they are listening to their Jumeto early morning worship, they can't be bothered about you. The point is that I have no problem if you want to do your morning devotion before you start work, but not when it is working hours. 9 a.m. So remember the new Ashanti regional minister went to one of these, I think it was Mampong that he went to, and when he got there and anybody else who came after him, he asked to go home because they're late. He got there around, because from Kumasi to Mampong is, well, let's say maybe he might have used a convoy, but regardless, if you're supposed to get there at 8, get there at 8, start work at 9 or 8:30. He got there, so everyone else who came after him should go home. They're late. Yeah, because the whole Department of Government Efficiency. Which place there? Any of the government institutions. Friday. And don't remind me. I don't mention it because we'll be unfair to other employees who go and do what's expected of them. But the truth is that a lot of our public sector workers, they are just in because government is a reliable salary payer. and they know that come what may, you know,
at the end of the month,
and there's that kind of job security. But a lot of them are not performing in like just a few of the very, you know, high efficiency state agencies. Even that one, you'll find people there. So maybe this Elon Musk, Donald Trump government efficiency thing, we should look around. I'm telling you,
and find a way to adopt it.
Yeah, because like you look at the public sector wage bill.
Yeah.
We are paying so many people. You know, I don't even want to talk about the possible ghost names and all of that, right? We need to find a way to make the public sector more efficient and performance driven, right? I think Ablakwa is trying to do something like that at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where he says that everybody is going to be given a KPI and it's going to be reviewed. Right?
I think that's the way to go.
Yeah, you know, Sam George too is talking
redundant.
about realignment and restructuring.
Yeah.
But the point is that people have to be given a lot more responsibility, not necessarily in terms of workload, but like we should see the output.
Yeah.
Right? If government is
why we employed
if a state agency is running at a loss, it means that some people are not doing because it was a private sector, you'd have been collapsed by now.
Oh yes.
Right? Definitely. So if you are at a state agency, you need to show more. You need to do more.
Show really. Working.
Yeah. You know, they take fast salary, entertainment allowance. They are taking, you know, a housemaid allowance. Somebody can give me. I pay my taxes. Somebody can. You know. So
someone said it would be nice to know whether the maid actually got the specified amount.
Allowance. You know, we are paying all of these things at the expense of the taxpayer. And as a state agency, are running losses. Meanwhile, these same state agencies, some of them even less attractive in quotes. People take it up and they turn it around.
Yeah.
Look at Ghana Publishing Company, for example.
Yeah.
David Asante, you know, formerly of Let My Vote Council Alliance. And it's not even me saying, even though I've been to a couple of their programs, you know, and I saw the significant improvement in the place. Even NDC folks talk about the place and credit him. So the point is that if people put their mind to it, they can do it. There's also an argument of how maybe the presidency also have a role to play by appointing square pegs in round holes. That's a different conversation altogether. Wow. Even though I think it's a valid point to make. You know, the president appoints over 6,000 people when he comes into office. That's a lot of people, right? He might not even necessarily know all of them. So to begin with, some way. But the point is that if you are placed in a position of trust and in the public, Charlie, you have to deliver. You know, you have to rain or shine.
Deliver.
Yeah. And if you know you are not competent enough, step aside and let the technocrats or somebody with a lot more or better experience run the thing. And that's how we build our economy.
Yeah,
you know, imagine every state agency is bringing, Charlie, and like there's healthy competition. You know, the cigar crowd that is supposed to monitor them some way. So I don't know.
All right.
Bring us a big story and let's.
Okay, so the first story you see when you open Channel One News: 7 Chinese, 8 Ghanaian galamseyers arrested with 10 excavators near River Ankobra. The Western Regional Police Command on Saturday, 22nd February, arrested key illegal mining kingpins, including 7 Chinese and 8 Ghanaians at Ablakwa and some parts of Akango near the River Ankobra in the Nzima East municipality. This forms part of the renewed fight against illegal small-scale mining, popularly called galamsey, across the country since the appointment of Emmanuel Amakufi-Boa as the Lands and Natural Resources Minister. The team also seized 10 excavators during the operation, and they're being processed for prosecution. This operation comes less than 1 week after 3 Chinese and their Ghanaian counterparts were also arrested by national security operatives along the Pra River near Supomdunkwao in the Shamar district of the Western region for suspected galamsey activities and pollution of the Pra River. And there are pictures of the arrested Chinese and the oh my God, the devastation and what they've caused the land, the river.
Yeah, I can see it on the screen.
You can see it, right? Yeah, the river looks, wow. Well, I'm glad that the fight has been renewed. I'm just hoping that it's sustained this time around. It's not all talk and all, pump.
We've seen this before.
That's what I'm saying, that I hope it's not just the usual, we are fighting galamsey 2 days, they arrest people one day and then the next day it's back to business as usual.
I don't want to be cynical or pessimistic, but this really
Please
proves,
be.
you know,
And I completely agree with you if you are.
I have so much hope in Ghana, right? And I
Yeah.
think we'll get that as a people. Maybe
Oh, you
not
do?
today, maybe not in my lifetime, but we'll become better off as a people one day. So, yeah.
Do you still have that I Stand Against Galamsey t-shirt?
Oh, yeah, I do.
We wore it once, and then we went to eat. And someone was, oh, I don't know how much it won't work.
It's easy to be pessimistic because of how the political class have treated us over the years. But I just want to give this administration and this minister
a fair chance.
Yeah,
to
let's
prove
see.
themselves.
You know,
let's see what they have for us.
and
Like
they
I'm
shouldn't
saying,
take it for
they
granted.
shouldn't start and then end
Yeah.
without doing what is necessary. You have the NEIP story?
Yes, I want to read that one. So, all NEIP staff suspended over employment and other issues. Management of the National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Program, NEIP, has directed its staff not to report to work from Monday, February 24, 2025. This follows unresolved issues related to employment and salary payments. In a memo dated Friday, February 21, management of the program noted that management, there's a quote, has been instructed to adhere strictly to due process in regularizing staff employment to prevent further legal complications. They noted that once the issues are fully addressed, only specific staff whose services are required may be called upon to resume work. Additionally, all staff who are in possession of property belonging to NEIP are required to hand them over to the HR officer by close of work on Tuesday, February 25, 2025. So failure to do so will be considered as a deliberate stealing of such items, the statement read. That's why HR is sweet too. Because Obia Kokrana, actually, you're still there. Because they all have to report to her in a way, or whoever the HR person is. So, this is the big story. It's according to the story on citynewsroom.com, it's to resolve unresolved issues relating to employment and salary payments, right? And word on the street also is that certain people might not be recalled. The program is to help entrepreneurs. This guy whose business is all over the place, and this is as a matter of public record, and that's why I can say it. The Pizza Man business, right? It was projected as a result of support from this program. I remember when he, according to the owner of the business, he started in KNUST, then he met the late John Kuma. They had a presidential pitch. He puts the business out there, and the business is thriving because of partly due to the support he received from government. So clearly there is need for something like this, right? And they've supported many other entrepreneurs, some of which are like still at the beginning stage. What's the word for it? Yeah, when the business starts fresh, some of them have grown to like scale up a little. Others are also trying to enter large scale levels. So it's a great program if managed efficiently.
Right.
Kwekun Cancer did quite some work. Is it Kofi Cancer? Did quite some work in also trying to push it up. So we'll see how Mr. Eric J and his new management are able to take this a notch higher in terms of supporting entrepreneurs. Our city and ChannelOne, we do the This Is Ghana Fair. We see the ingenuity of Ghanaian business owners all the time. Sometimes all they need is a little publicity, a little push, a little funding here. It doesn't mean like sometimes very big money, right? So they have a lot of work to do to bring out our next Dangote. I don't think it's possible.
Oh, it's possible.
Yeah.
It is very possible.
They can easily bring out. Exactly.
Yeah,
So
it's very possible.
I hope they're able to resolve all of these backroom staff issue quickly and come up with ways to help entrepreneurs in the country. You have one final story for us?
I wanted to do the Ablakwa story.
Very briefly.
Yeah, very briefly. Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, has been summoned by Parliament to address concerns regarding the deportation of Ghanaians from the United States. The second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Andrew Esiamamwako, summoned him to appear before the House on Friday, February 28, after a request by the Member of Parliament for Asin South, Reverend John Ntim Fojo. Lawmakers urged the government to support the deportees and introduce measures to manage migration. Reverend Fojo, speaking in Parliament on Friday, February 21, called for the establishment of integration centers What is most distressing about these deportations is not only the scale, but the inhumane treatment our citizens endure at U.S. detention centers before their forced removal. Stories in the news reports paint a grim picture of our citizens subjected to degrading conditions. Some have spent most of their lives in America and will struggle to integrate into Ghanaian society without support. It is therefore important for the government to establish structured reintegration programs, including job placement initiatives. So yes, that's that.
Wish him all the best as they come to, it's sometimes all these stories, it's funny until you have a relative who is, when you hear deportation story, you hear all of those things, some way until you know somebody who is directly affected. So it's important in British Parliament. All right, so we'll take a quick break. When we are back, we have a lot more for you right here on Sunday Breakfast. We have gospel artists coming through. We have the health segment. Of course, we'll have our nutrition segment. There's also sports. Truly a packed show. Don't miss out. We'll be right back.